We're gonna start shortly, Wes.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm gonna hear y'all get started, Rashawn, and then I'm gonna jump because we got dueling
Yeah, yeah,
dueling
yeah.
calls tonight.
Got a lot of work tonight.
Yep,
I do
that's what
see.
we that's what we do.
Yes, yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. Got a good number of brothers on. Great. Brothers, while we are patiently waiting, giving some brothers a couple more minutes to jump in, I wanted to share a fundraiser if you haven't heard already. The Straight Out of the Mighty East t-shirts. I purposely wore it for today's uh, event. So, brothers, if you have not purchased Straight Out of the Mighty East shirt yet, please scan the QR code on your screen right now. It is an Eastern Regional fundraiser. And, this board is dedicated in finding unique ways to build more revenue, to have more revenue coming in so we can be more efficient, but to also offer up a plethora of different opportunities and give that back to the brotherhood, right? There's a lot of conversation, especially at the Area 2 meeting, around certain things that we want to do. We can't do that without the support of you guys and supporting fundraisers like this. So please, if you haven't already, scan the QR code. Very nice looking shirts you can see there. Good quality, right? I have the black one on. There's 4 colors. There's navy, black, gray, and the royal blue. Today I'm wearing the black one. I have a black one. Actually, I have all 4. So if you have not already, brothers, um, help us get to our goal. We're so close to our goal, with the goal that we have for selling these t-shirts. And it's going to help one of our line items on our budget. If you were at the June regional board meeting, that was a huge topic of conversation. What additional revenue avenues do we have in bringing revenue into the region? So, brothers, again, if you have not yet, scan that QR code and purchase a t-shirt. It's going away soon. This t-shirt will not be available for too much longer, and I'll share with those on the call a secret that this Eastern Regional Board will be releasing unique exclusive merchandise items on a quarterly basis. So they're going to come and they're going to go. So if you don't take advantage of it, you're going to miss out because it's not coming back. All right. With that being said, Brother Lewis, I think we're going to get started.
Let's go for it.
I think we're going to get started. Well, good evening, brothers. Good evening, brothers. My name is Brother Rashawn Howard. I am your Eastern Regional Director of Bigger and Better Business. And the Bigger and Better Business team is super excited to bring to you the 2024-2025 Billboard Jackson Grant. I thank all you brothers from New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania who have joined to be able to take part in this workshop that we wanted to offer to you in person, but we also wanted to get you home in time too. So we're here today to ensure that Area 2 gets the opportunity to prepare properly for the Billboard Jackson. So establishing protocol really quick. I want to thank all of the brothers on the call. I want to thank our Eastern Regional leadership, especially our 28th Eastern Regional Director, the Honorable Brother Nigel Coelho, so we could stand in our homes and give a silent applause to our Eastern Regional Director, Brother Nigel Coelho, and Honorable 28. If you want to give a couple words, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Howard, and good evening, brothers. I'm gonna only take up a couple of minutes of your time because I do want to allow Brother Howard and the BBB team to execute what you guys are here for tonight. But I'd be remiss if I didn't just take a few moments being on this call, as we actually have, as I said at the onset, we have dueling calls tonight because that's how much work our leadership is doing tonight. We had an amazing call kicking off with our Toastmasters partnership last night by our Director of Education. We are still engaging with brothers who want to be engaged with that group. We have this incredible workshop that Brother Howard and Brother Lewis are going to lead tonight to tell you how you can be a participant and potentially a winner of that Billboard Jackson grant. And of course, we have our first 2 workshops on protocol, which is kicking off in a little while. So this region, this board, this leadership is hard at work, doing the work of servant leadership to support you. I can't say enough how proud I am of our regional director of Bigger and Better Business, Brother Howard, and all the work that he has done. He has been working hard for this BBB team since before he even got elected. So to see the work that he's doing, really driving the programmatic thrust of Bigger and Better Business, not just really in the Eastern region, but even across the country in support of our international director of Bigger and Better Business. So we're just very proud of him. And I'm just really excited to see so many brothers on here engaging in this. As you know, I'm a past regional director of Bigger and Better Business myself. This was a program, this Billboard Jackson contest was one that started here in the East and then went international. So we get very excited about this competition because we believe there are an incredible group of young and upcoming and maybe more seasoned entrepreneurs and business owners out here who we believe can benefit from this. This is your fraternity and your region investing in your businesses, brothers. So we just want to encourage you, listen intently tonight, and we want to see the next national winner of the Billboard Jackson contest come right here out of the Eastern region. So, brothers, just again, appreciate you all for being on here tonight and look forward to seeing and connecting with you all soon. Brother Howard, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Brother Director. We really appreciate you. Looking at our participants list, I wanted to make sure that I recognize all of the hardworking members of the Eastern Regional Bigger and Better Business team. I appreciate you, Brother Aaron Wright, Brother Calvin, and all of our Eastern Regional BBB coordinators across the Eastern region. You guys are going to hear a coordinated event today with our Maryland, DC. I don't even remember which area you're coordinating, Brother Lewis.
We're doing DC metro area.
DC, there you go.
All DC, parts of Maryland.
They're all doing such a great job.
I
don't even know what area they're in. They're all doing such a great job. But we are going to get started. But I want to give you some background before I turn the mic over to Brother Lewis. The Billboard Jackson actually was started right here in our Eastern region. We've had some great participants who have taken part in the Billboard Jackson workshop. One of the ethos when you talk about who Brother Jackson was when it comes to entrepreneurship was ensuring that there was resources, opportunities available for those who were interested in getting in the field. And so when you have the Billboard Jackson grant and the opportunity to win up to $22,000, when we win, somebody is going to win from the Eastern region. When we win the national prize, we wanted to make sure that we put workshops in place so that way you can be properly prepared. We wanted to make sure that iron shopping iron right here in the Eastern region. So when we got to the other regions, we put the best presentation and the best business plan together. So there are going to be a plethora of workshops, this being one. And today we are going to be discussing how to plan your business, how to take a passion that you might have and turn it into a successful business, a current business that you might have in preparation for planning your business, as well as an aspiring business that you might have. This is the first of 3 workshops, brothers. The next workshop is going to be November 7th. So you'll get that information will be coming out in about a week or so, and you'll be able to register for the November 7th workshop, which is writing a successful business. You'll see they work in conjunction with each other, as today we'll talk about the first steps of building a business. On the 7th, we'll talk about the intricacies of writing a successful business plan that can put you in the proper area to win the Billboard Jackson. And then our third workshop on November 21st is going to be how to market your business, how to present your business to the judges, to the coaches, to investors, right? Who may be interested in investing in your product, in your service, in what your offerings are. What are the key things you need to ensure you have in your presentation, right? So we're going to walk this region through all 3 steps so that way you are 100% prepared for the Billboard Jackson. Now, the application process had started. August 25th, the application was live. Brothers, if you go to impact1914.org, you can download the Billboard Jackson application. Again, that's impact1914.org, where you can download the Billboard Jackson application. Do not rush to get that application in, brothers. Application closes January 15th. I would like to see you working through the application process while you're going through these workshops. So that way you can make the changes and adjustments that you need as the workshops is going along, right? So download the application tonight, get familiarized with the application, start to implement some of the things you learned today into your application, and then begin to work through it once we get through the 2nd workshop and the 3rd workshop. Fine tune your application and then just make sure you get it in by 11:59 on January 15th. No rush, brothers, no rush. So, brothers, without further ado, I am going to turn the wheels over to Brother Wes Lewis, who is our Small Business Association chair for the Eastern region. He chairs the committee for the Small Business Association and has done a great job along with the rest of the BBB team in putting this together. So we're going to co-author kind of this presentation today, but I wanted to pass it on to Brother Lewis to get us started.
Thank you, Brother Director. Good evening, brothers. Thanks for joining us. Really quick, as it pertains to the SBA committee, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my email address in the chat when we get to Q&A. If you are interested in supporting that initiative along with me, I'm still getting the particulars together, working with SBA directly, our point of contact. But if you are interested by any means, feel free to reach out and I can clue you in when we start making progress on that committee and its initiatives. All right. So part 1, we're planning business. We're going to talk about what it means to plan your business, what the importance of a business plan is. I think that is our very next slide. Yeah, well, okay, so yeah, so just an overview of this presentation. So we're going to talk about why we plan our businesses, identifying and hardening your business idea to a point where you feel as though it is mature enough to take to the next level and cycle through the maturation, feedback loops, baking in ideas, baking in some of the legal financial considerations, using market research to better understand whom you're serving or whom you're looking to serve through products and services. And then, of course, we will have some resources, some of which originate from SBA, some state, local resources, of course, impact1914.org, Bigger and Better Business Committee, and so forth. So that'll be our closing.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely. And brothers, this is going to be a very, very interactive workshop. Brother Lewis and I are not going to be talking at you for the next 45 minutes. If you can, because I know it's, 7 o'clock and brothers are getting home from work and getting the family together and things of that nature. If you can, turn your cameras on, be very interactive, and be ready to really take part in this workshop. So if you're available to and you can, please turn your cameras on, brothers. We want to make this as interactive as possible for the brotherhood, so that way you get everything out of this that you can. With that being said, raise your hand if you own a business or you want to own a business. How many brothers on here own a business or want to own a business? Great. Awesome. Love it. Love it. Great. Put some of your business services and our products in the chat. Throw some of those in the chat while Brother Lewis continues on with the presentation.
Excellent. Thank you, Brother Director. So yeah, identifying your business idea. Next slide. Hold on, we're doing a little bit of, let's keep going. Yeah. Why plan? Okay, there we go. Thank you. So the purpose of having a business plan, this is your North Star. This is where you are continually going back to, you're returning to it every so often. Quite frequently in the very beginning, you are using this to create a direction, identify where you want this business to go. In terms of your goals, you establish those goals, you hold yourself to them. Especially if you are a sole entrepreneur, you have no one else to hold you accountable. Maybe your family, maybe the folks whom your business is supporting. They may help to also hold you accountable, but definitely this document's a living, breathing artifact. It's a tool that anyone who's looking to give you money, anyone whom you're looking to for support will need in order to really get a sense of, do you have a good sense of where this is going, where you want to take it, what you'll need, what your strategy is. Do you have anything in place for risk management? Do you have any performance benchmarking built in? How do you plan on communicating with partners, employees, stakeholders, just to make sure everyone's on the same page? I never know where this quote comes from, but it holds true to this very day. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you don't have this business plan in place, there's a high likelihood. I'm not going to say everyone's going to fail if you don't have a business plan, but the numbers are not in your favor if you don't have some degree of understanding of what your idea is, whom you're looking to serve, and where you want to take it. Next slide.
Awesome. And Brother Lewis, we have some great businesses and services, health and digital learning, carpenter communication, human resources, business and executive training, apparel, food and drink, group travel. I got to talk to you, good brother. Apparel, great businesses, business services, business ideas, and business products available already starting in the Eastern region. That's great.
Absolutely. Now, again, as I mentioned in the previous slide, this is your North Star. This is what you are aiming towards with every step of your business. The goals that you've set, this is where you are headed. It will help. This document is a living, breathing tool to help you guide decisions at every single stage. And again, it's an accountability tool. It's accountability measurement. It's a means of holding you aligned with and accountable to every goal that you've set, whether long-term, short-term. Yeah, you cannot, it's highly recommended to not go without this. And aside from the Billboard Jackson initiative, this is something that you will definitely need in your back pocket if you want your business to thrive, potentially provide generational wealth for you and your family.
Mm-hmm. So, out of all those who own businesses, how many already have a business plan? Raise your hand, come off mute, whatever. How many have a business plan in place, a working document that they use for their business? Awesome, Brother Bugs. Great. Anyone else? Awesome. Great to see. Awesome, Brother Power, Brother, right? I love it. I love those hands. I love those hands. So, and I hope to see all of your applications coming in for the Billboard, because the coaching and the process is only going to help you fine-tune that business plan, that roadmap for success. Remember, that's a working document. And for those who do not yet have a business, but have a business idea, right? It's putting that on paper, getting it out of your head and actually putting it down on paper in an organized manner, in an organized way. And that's really what we're going to dive into and workshop too. But as Brother Lewis said, that roadmap to success is your business plan. So let's talk about defining your target market. And so we're looking at some of these business, right, Brother Lewis? We're looking at, human resources. So Brother Bounds, who is your target market in human resources? Who are you targeting? What is your niche market? Who is your ideal clientele? You're on mute. I can't hear you. There you
Sorry,
go.
I was no, but I was having a minute. Um, Small business. Anybody that's a small business. Anybody with uh, honestly, more than anybody who's got more than one employee. There are certain things that need to be adhered to make sure that they're supposed to be going up in that. So yeah, that would be your question.
Awesome. Great. Let's go with Brother Powell. Business and executive training. That's unique. What is your niche market? Who are you targeting? Where are you getting your revenue from? You're on mute too. I'm
I
gonna
answered the
collect
question in the chat.
$5 every time I say that tonight.
I answered the question in the chat. Small women and minority owned licensed service professionals who've been in business for more than 5 years.
Love it. Love it. Both brothers have identified their demographics, right? The behaviors and the needs. So when we talk about identifying a target market, it's going to be very important for a piece of your business plan when you're as a part of the Billboard Jackson. This is going to be heavily graded and scored upon. Who is your target market, right? What does that demographic look like? Excellent. Both Brother Bounds and Brother Powell, they know their demographic. What are their behaviors, right? And what are their needs? We are the middleman when it comes to being business owner. We identify a problem and we have the solution and we connect the two, right? And that's how we become successful. Brother Lewis?
Thank you, Brother Director. So yeah, in terms of understanding whom you're serving, understanding the market in which you reside, which your business resides, there are a number of methods for collecting that sort of data. There are customer surveys, there are focus groups, interviews. Depending on what you're doing, there's pre-existing data out there. For example, myself, I'm an IT consultant. I look at subcontracts to hop on customers to potentially serve alongside larger entities that may already have a presence. How I conduct business, I leverage usaspending.gov. That data is public, it's already out there, and I can use that to identify target agencies that I want to go into that can use my services, that are buying my services, and I can identify partners to go in with. So just an example of there being data already out there in addition to data that you yourself or your entity or your company solicits. But yeah, just helping to understand any sort of customer needs that your company is able to appease or resolve, minimize risk, identify opportunities, and analyze your competitors. You're able to leverage any of that data a multitude of ways, but just those key opportunities to set yourself apart from your competition and really make an impact on your customer, your clientele, and differentiate yourself in a potentially crowded market. Everyone's getting laid off these days. A lot of folks take those opportunities to start businesses. You still have your presence, you still have a desire to thrive within a market that may be becoming saturated, oversaturated. So definitely mastering market research techniques and understanding what to do with that data once you have it could be crucial. It could be life or death as it pertains to your business.
Yes. Brother Gordon, you had a question or your hand was still up from the last question I asked?
Hi. Good evening, brothers. I just had a quick question. So, I'm unsure if this was mentioned already, but if you're starting from the ground up, and you're trying to figure out like the going back to like the demographic of who should you pitch your business idea to, like is there a way, like what it would be like, is there a website, or how would you go about finding the right people to kind of like hopefully network and pitch your idea to if you're starting from literally like zero, if that makes sense? Because yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What's
Yeah,
your go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
Brother Lewis, go ahead. I know you love this.
What's your what's your entity? What I guess what's your market?
well, film. That is
Film.
my
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
So are you looking to solve, if you're looking to solve a problem, articulating that problem and whom that problem affects, that will ultimately shape your next potentially 2, 3 steps, right? So if you have a service that no one else can provide, you've already got your differentiator set. Who would likely be using your services? Like production companies, studios. I think that part would essentially be up to you, but then conducting the research, identifying those groups, talking to people who meet that persona, right? I think actually the next slide might be on personas, but
Yeah.
basically you're looking to see if that problem is true to them, if they're really impacted by that opportunity that you have to revolutionize or impact their business in a positive way, then that research may should very likely yield um, insights into whether or not your business is viable. If that is the sole purpose of your business, to market to these folks, then you need to talk to those folks or find data that already exists about what their tendencies are, and that should help direct.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
So
Appreciate it.
definitely. And SBA.gov
Yeah.
can also assist. When you go to, they have so many resources, and we can share the exact URL that you need
Yeah.
to identify where do I get started, right? Who am I marketing to? Once you identify what Brother Lewis has talked about, like, film is very broad. So going back to defining your target market, Brother Gordon, right? Like, so okay. My LB is in film as well. He's a director, right? He teaches at NYU. He has worked for Spike Lee in a different capacities, but his avenue is directing, right? So I know he's in film, but I know he's going to direct. And so I know I can tap into him if I need assistance on kind of bringing the content together so that it looks good on screen, right? And so going back to what Brother Lewis is saying, what problem am I trying to solve in film? And then now I can go use a resource like SBA.gov and say, okay, where can I go find these people? And then you'll be able to get that resource. Make sense?
Yeah, when you put it like that, it definitely makes a lot of sense. So figuring out exactly what my problem is, and then find like now I know where to go and yeah, look for the solution, hopefully. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Definitely. And we can talk offline too. I can help you with that, brother.
Thank you.
Definitely. Brothers, that's what these workshops are going to be all about. These workshops are for you. So that way, again, we want to make sure you are putting the best Billboard application in. So feel free to answer and ask questions. These presentations are just a foundational guideline for us to kind of walk you guys through the process. But this time is yours. Great question, Brother Gordon. And yeah, identifying trends and opportunities, Brother Lewis.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. I love the conversation, by the way. So identifying those trends and opportunities to set yourself apart. Competitors are always looking for you should also be looking for the next thing to affect your process flow, affect how to save, how to move quickly, how to quickly identify new leads, how to there are a number of things that you can be leveraging research, leveraging data to capture in order to set yourself apart as a business. Now, everyone's talking about AI. I saw someone talking about it in the chat. Everyone's talking AI, AI, AI. AI goes far beyond ChatGPT. AI goes far beyond image creation mechanisms, and it can, and I've even noticed it for just chapter operations, that you can leverage it to generate ideas or even process flow optimization techniques, blockchain, Internet of Things. There are so many ways to use what's out there to amplify your offerings, to amplify and trim down any sort of fluff or impediments that may be hindering your ability to stay ahead. Understanding customer preferences, again, using surveys, getting feedback, social media, so many tools that are made available to small business owners to track engagement, to track whether something is capturing the attention of those whom they're marketing to. Are you marketing to the right demographic? You're able to affect those settings right then and there in Instagram and Facebook and all the other MailChimp. A lot of these tools are meant for small business owners to be able to make those changes so that they can pivot, update their marketing strategy, and gather learnings by those means. But yeah, I mean, definitely, if you want to stay ahead, if you want to compete, you're going to have to identify trends and opportunities on a rolling basis. It's not just a one-time thing.
And Brother Powell, I use AI literally 15 times a day in my business. For those who don't know, I'm a financial advisor. Okay. And I also am in a dual role as a business development director. I have 28 advisors under me as a business development director, but I also run my own practice. And when you talk about, Chat GPT is a major, major force. However, Fathom, right, and Otter is so important. I save $20,000 a quarter not having to pay an assistant, because the majority of what I need my assistant for is to take my notes during my meetings. So I don't have in-person meetings. My clients, if you want to meet me in person, I mean, I kind of try to ask like, do we really got to? It has to be on Zoom, because I need my AI compatible companion, which, by the way, Zoom has its own version of that, to decipher my notes. It tells me, and I have the like paid version. So it tells me my task, where I need to be. It creates calendar invites for me. All of those things, right? Well, I gotta tap it. It doesn't like actually put on my calendar, but it like highlights it. All you gotta do is tap it, and all of a sudden it's on your calendar. And so to Brother Lewis's point is really going back to that market research. And going back to, I'm looking at, apparel, with Sean LLC and what I do in Sigma. I have a Pearl company as well for those brothers who have a Pearl. You need to identify what the trends are, right? What are brothers buying? Are you in the barbershop? You need to be looking at the designs that the brothers keep posting in the barbershop, and the ones that they post that they don't like when they be coming at Blue Collections, right? Like, we should be paying attention to that if we are Sigma salespeople, right? So great stuff, Brother Lewis. And we really, really talked about market research and essentials. So we'll skip that. And who are our competitors? So put in the chat for those who have businesses already. I like to know. Start to type them out. Who is your competitor? Name a company. Who is a competitor? Tommy Watt, Travel. You probably have a bunch of competitors. Who would you say is your biggest competitor as someone who focuses on travel for their clients, group travel and consultations for their clients? Colin, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad. I was waiting for the dreaded no one. We all have a competitor somewhere. And if I'm being honest with you, when I first started Sean LLC in 2018, that was my answer to that part of my business plan. Oh, that part is blank. I don't have any competitors, but we do. We all have competitors, right? what, again, going back to what is the problem that, Brother Powell, sorry to hear that. What is the problem that you're trying to solve, and who's already, so it's 2024. We're very innovative, right? We all have great ideas, but I promise you, somebody out there thought of it already and is doing some form of it. We just have to learn how to make it better, right? For me as a financial advisor, what do I sell? Half my clients don't even know the firm that I work under. They know me. It's your customer service model, right? It's who you are and what you're providing. It's your ability to connect and build relationships in a way with your clients that nobody else in the industry can do. But we all have competitors. We all have, Brother Ewers, you darn right ChatGPT is a competitor. It sure is. Look at Apple and Google and what they're trying to do and how that's working in the technology space. Right? So great stuff. Any questions around what we've covered so far?
I'd like to give an example, if that would be okay with some of the brothers.
Oh, definitely.
I use ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, but Copilot or Bing Chat, to really discover and answer all of the questions that you guys have asked tonight. And it helps me because I love Bing Chat, because Bing Chat will give you the source material instead of just answering the question. They'll give you the source material from where the answers come from, and that you can go back and validate that source material and really check that out and really enhance your learning about what you think you're
That's a
talking
good one.
about, what you
Yeah.
think you're saying. So I really enjoyed that. The reason why I pointed out Marshall Goldsmith, because I follow Marshall Goldsmith as a competitor of mine. I know he's the world's greatest business coach, period, by far, no questions asked. And so my thought is, how do I niche market and get to places where he's inaccessible, right? He's inaccessible to certain groups and certain niche markets that I get to play with, and I know how to do that in a way that he could never do it. Even though he's a great coach, he doesn't have access to the marketplace that I have access to. So I know how to find my niche, get in my niche, exploit that niche completely and thoroughly, so deeply that I'm the known expert in that space. For instance, I just gave a keynote presentation to the Virginia Women's Real Estate Association. Every woman who belongs to that association, that's every female realtor in the state of Virginia, now knows who I am. I offered them a competitive package that they're jumping all over. In a minute, everybody who calls themselves a real estate coach is about to be replaced by me in the state of Virginia.
Absolutely love
right?
it.
And I know what that money's
Absolutely
gonna
love
look
it.
like. Right. So I already have an idea of how much that's gonna get me. I didn't even have to develop new websites or new strategies or anything like that. I just had to show up in places where I know they're going to gather and see me, and then get and read my content and pay attention and engage with them. Other coaches can't afford to do that because they're trying to go a broad appeal. They're not focusing on the niche.
Yeah. Brother Powell, in that one statement, just brought together everything me and Brother Lewis have been talking about all night, right? You know, I can even go back. I mean, he pretty much just did the recap of the first half of this, right? You know, when we talk about one, the importance of a business plan, he understands his business plan. And in his business plan, he's already created and identified his roadmap to success. He's defined his target market, his niche market, right? And he's identified and did his market research. So he knows exactly who his competitors are. And you watch and you pay attention to your competitors so you can identify what the industry trends are. You know, what are customer preferences? What are they saying under those comments on social media, right? What is the review? What are the reviews on Yelp or Google or all of those places? What are the review? What makes people so excited about using that top person in the industry, right? All of those things, just by following your competitors or those who may be in your industry, will help you build out your business plan. So if you are starting from scratch, if you are at ground zero or at A, or even if you're at C or D, once you get to this point, My homework to you would be, after this workshop, first identify your niche market, and then identify the industry trends and who your competitors are, and watch them and learn them, the competitors who are very, very successful, so you can incorporate some of the things they're doing right into your business model. Make sense? All right. That'll jump us
Brother,
right to,
I'm sorry,
I guess I kind of, go
I
ahead.
don't mean to jump in again, but is this being recorded so that we can share it with our chapters?
Oh, yes, definitely.
What wonderful. Where can they have access to it?
I'll make sure that everybody here is going to get the link, and then we'll get it loaded on the PBS East YouTube at some point, so that way brothers can just go watch it at their leisure. But everyone who registered for this, who's on this call, will get the link within the next 24 hours.
I love it. You guys are doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Amazing.
And brother director, really quick, since an unlikely or unexpected byproduct of this conversation, and which is great, this is a conversation, it's not just, again, us talking at the brothers. Can we do something about sharing the chat, the tools that were shared in the chat? Again, I think some of the AI tools.
That's a good point. I have no idea. I'll try to get that figured out. That's I have no idea. I think the chat saves. Oh, I just said save chat. I think I just did it. I think we're good.
Yeah, but you got to do it all the way up to the end. You have to save the chat all the way to the end of the conversation, and then flip that into some kind of AI program that will create a document.
Perfect. Okay, just did it. Perfect. All right. Awesome stuff. That's one thing. I'm a Zoom guy. I've been on Zoom since 2018. I never saved the chat for a reason. Brother Lewis, go ahead with the SWOT analysis.
Yep, sounds good. And so SWOT analysis, again, you kind of got to be humble with this one, right? So you have to be very self-aware, very business aware, very conscientious about what your actual. Now, of course, everyone wants to say like, hey, these are the things that we're actually strong at. These are the things that we deliver on very well. This is how we are better positioned than other entities. But when we're talking about the not so good things, right? Your weaknesses, your threats. Of course, everyone wants to come into this and say, hey, I have no weaknesses. I'm an army of how many ever, and we get the job done no matter what. No. Everyone has a weakness, or every entity has an area of opportunity, assets or tools or resources that they could stand to have at their disposal that they may not in the moment, especially if you're starting from scratch. Where are there opportunities to reduce the struggle, reduce the friction, and then don't just come with weaknesses, possible solutions. And again, SBA, there are not a lot of businesses that are operating in an ultra unique fashion. A lot of businesses have gone through probably what you're going through in terms of the areas of opportunity. And SBA has done a very good job of storing these in a repository on their website. They're free, and we'll talk about this in resources. They're business professionals who have gone through it and they share their know-how, their experience, their perspective with you for free. Threats, who's coming for the throne, who's challenging us. Again, understanding from understanding the competitive landscape, who's challenging us and how, and what can go wrong that may not have already gone wrong. But yeah, just being very aware of this, documenting this in your business plan, and continuing to revisit it regularly so that your weakness may become a strength. Ideally, sometimes your strength may become a weakness. It can go both ways. Your opportunities can become threats, your threats can become opportunities. But if you're not staying on top of your business plan, you won't know until it's too late.
Here's the secret. Do a SWOT analysis on your industry, and do a SWOT analysis on your identified competitors. Especially if you're starting your business from scratch. It's going to really, really help you put a strong business plan together, because you'll be able to identify right away where the gaps are in the industry that you can fill, so you can really, really start to build some revenue. And those are going to be the things that investors want to hear about. Those are going to be the things that the judges are going to want to hear about during the Billboard Jackson, right? And so when we look at the SWOT analysis, it's not just for your business. That's important, especially as for an established business. You should be doing that on an annual basis as part of your end of year business planning, right? But for those who are beginning to build a business, for those new business owners, SWOT your industry and SWOT your competitors. Great stuff. Great stuff. All
Great
right,
point.
legal. Go ahead, Brother Lewis.
No, just saying great point.
Oh, somebody's in. Got somebody in. Okay. All right. Legal and financial considerations, right? Now we know we want to have a business. We got a great business idea. We're starting to put our business plan together. And it's like, okay, well, this is where AI comes in too. But it's like, I don't know what my business structure should be. Should I be LLC? Should I be an S Corp? Should I be a C Corp? Should I be a sole prop? I don't know. It's just, and then you go and you Google and you YouTube and it's just so much information. You even ask AI and they go, well, if you're doing this, then do that. And then if you're doing it this way, then do it the other way. And so you're really like, what the heck am I supposed to do? Right. And so identifying your business structure is actually not as important as you think initially. And the reason I say that is because those things are adjustable and interchangeable, right? And so do not beat your head up if you're trying to prepare and build a business plan and you can't really identify, what your business structure is right now. We're going to have coaches available for you, and we're going to really discuss that in writing your plan in the second workshop. And we're also going to have some tips and tricks come out over the next couple months on what businesses should look at LLCs versus look at S Corps versus look at C Corps versus look at sole props, right? Here's the biggest important thing when we talk about structure and financials. Your business and your business ideas should never be commingled with your personal finances. That's the biggest thing, okay? That's the biggest thing that we should be worried about. But also, depending on what industry we're in, some of these industries that we talk about, they're very clear. You have to make sure you have the right licenses, the right certificates, the right registrations, so that way you can be considered a legit business, so you can qualify to get funds from investors, to get loans from the SBA, to get specific grants if you're a nonprofit, and all of those things, right? And so licensing and permits is very, very important. The biggest thing is get an EIN that's separate from your social and run your business that way. That's the first step, period, right? You can figure out everything else as you go. But the first step is separating your business from yourself personally, professional and personal.
Brother Howard,
right?
I hear you, and you're absolutely right about everything you're saying. But let the business leads on the call know that what is the suffering? What is the pain if they do not do this way? What's how's that gonna affect them tax wise, legal wise down the road if they don't get this right up front?
Ooh, thousands of dollars. Struggling with paying your pockets, your pockets. But also, again, not being eligible for certain things. The example that I'll give is the pandemic. I mean, the government was throwing money at businesses and small businesses during the pandemic. And the biggest thing that came out is that all the corporate businesses got all the dollars, right? And they're not wrong. But the reason that was the case that nobody is talking about is because they had the proper structures, legalities, and finances in place, and the small businesses didn't. They weren't prepared for the opportunity. And so they lost out. And thank goodness it was a multi-year thing. So they had a year to get themselves together if they did. Some of them just took their ball and went home.
Or close shop.
Yep. So that was for me, that's the biggest pain I've seen, as an advisor and as a business consultant with my company, Sean, I got a bunch of businesses. As a business owner with Sean LLC is, man, not being able to take advantage of the opportunity. It was sad to see. It was really sad to see. And so, the process will help you along the way identify what licenses and permits, because business organization is also a part of the Billboard Jackson. That's also going to be scored, not as highly as marketing and competitors, but it's still a part of the scoring process. Understanding your business organization and what the structure looks like. Okay. So just knowing some of these things, that the goal for today's workshop is to get some of these things in your head as you're building your plan out over the next 45 to 50 days to prepare to submit your comprehensive business plan. That's the goal for today. Get the juices flowing. Some financial considerations. Also, basic startup costs. I drove Lyft all of 2018 to start Sean LLC. I worked at Citizens Bank. Great job. Financial advisor at Citizens Bank. Awesome. Great. But I knew I wanted to start my own business, and I knew I wanted to start my own practice. Now, I knew I needed seed money. So I drove Lyft, right? Do the things that you got to do. Invest in yourself first before you expect other people to invest in you. So that's always going to be number one before you start even looking for the additional funding options and building additional revenue streams. All right, this is Brother Lewis' favorite, so I'm gonna let him. We'll come back to the recap. I'm gonna let you run through resources, and then we'll go backwards, Brother Lewis.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it. By the way, I shot you a quick note. I might be able to cover it here, but basically, as far as resources, everything you see here is free. So we've got us. Let's just start right then and there. We've got impact1914.org. We have all the resources here, and we point to some of these as well. And I think it's a good opportunity for us to shout out the Sigma Business Locator, Brother Director. You can, I definitely invite you to share more information about that after I kind of run through some of these others. If we have any vets on the line, the VBOC through SBA, that is a good opportunity for you to connect with resources who will provide you with guidance to get your business established and find opportunities for your business to either help mature it, to acquire certain certifications, designations. There are a number of those under the SBA that could prove to be advantageous, especially if you're looking for government dollars. SCORE, I use SCORE. Basically, it's a network of highly accomplished, often retired business professionals who will share, they'll coach you. They'll be matched with you strategically based on, I believe you have to submit a small lean business plan at minimum so that they can get a sense of who you are, what your business is, and what your goals are. And then they'll match someone with you. You can schedule meetings with them as often as you like, and they'll share their perspective with you in terms of getting you up to speed. SBA.gov in itself is a resource. They've built it out so much over the years to ensure that there are specific steps to starting a business, running a business, marketing a business that very much aligns with how we've structured the programming for the Billboard Jackson program. So if you do have any questions, if you are starting off, highly recommend you go to straight to SBA.gov. If you're looking to, again, market to the federal government or take advantage of any sort of federal grants, definitely take a look there. Apex Accelerators, I believe, are on the state level. They partner with SBA. Same concept, I believe. I work with the Maryland Apex for my business, X5 Digital or IT consulting. And again, they give you another coach, and you can work to find incubators, accelerators. They have regular virtual programming that you can partake in. And yeah, I think those are really the best resources. But Brother Howard, I want to just invite you to speak a little bit about the Sigma Business Locator. I think that's pretty much
Definitely.
resources.
Definitely. Brother Bugs is correct as well. Your
Yeah.
local chamber of commerce your local or regional chamber of I belong to the Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce. I belong to the Philadelphia Business Chamber of Commerce. I belong to the African American Chamber of Commerce, and they all are great, great resources for any of our collegiates who are on the line, or any brothers who are under the age of 35. They have Young Professionals Chamber of Commerce as another branch of those local Chamber of Commerce. Brother Gordon, when you talk about networking and where do I get started, I mean, that is a good place to start as well, because there are like-minded people there who need your services. And sometimes it's free drinks and free food. So so it's always a good place to get started. Before I hit the Sigma Business Network, I want to do a quick recap of what we did today. We talked about business plan and that North Star, right? Making sure that we build a roadmap to success and what that might look like. Creating a value prop for your business. Doing thorough research and identifying your niche market. Who are you actually looking to target, right? What is your product? What is your service? What are you offering? What problem are you solving? And then knowing your competitors. Yeah, I personally think that's the beginning aspect of building a business plan. Is once you know what industry you want to get in, once you know what problem you want to solve, that might change once you start to identify your competitors and do that SWOT analysis, because you might see different gaps. You might see that, oh, my competitor's already solving that problem. I may not be as successful in this industry if I just work on this problem, but I see this problem that's not being identified, that's not being catered to, that I might be able to solve. And then protecting your business and yourself, having the proper licenses, the proper structures, separating, personal from professional, right? To ensure that not only are we available to qualify for some of these resources that we're talking about, but that we don't get hit hard by the IRS and any of these other dot whatevers that come after, that come after as government entities. And then understanding your funding options and revenue streams. So, brothers, I want to share this with you. I'm actually just going to share my whole screen here because I got stuff going on. And I just want to share this with you for those, it logged me out, no, it didn't. For those who were not aware, the inception of this idea started with our immediate past director of Bigger and Better Business, Brother Ben Austin, as part of the international Bigger and Better Business team, Brother Gibson, and that team, they created something called the Sigma Business Network. The Sigma Business Network was a website where Sigma businesses could register their business, and brothers could then go and research those businesses and utilize and support them. We have evolved that into something called the Sigma Business Locator. We wanted to move that resource where the brothers were, because we wanted to make sure that the brothers like yourself, all of you brothers who have businesses, should be going into the blueprint as soon as we log off of this webinar, going into my account, going to the About Me page, going down to business ownership and entrepreneurial affiliations, hitting that pencil and putting your business into this form or whatever we want to call it, right? Doing this will allow you to be identified on the international business locator, available to all brothers who have access to the blueprint. That is, brothers who are financial and non-financial have access to the directory. To date, we have 170 brothers who have ensured that their business is being recognized on the business locator. Now, I just did a deep, you see how I did it, because I like to see how many we have, but it's industry specific. So whatever industry you put in, you can go and look. If someone's looking for you in that industry, they can just click the industry and boom, you'll be right there. Entertainment, Brother Gordon, I think that's probably a great spot for you to put your business once you get started. All of that, a bunch of brothers in entertainment. That's great, right? So the Sigma Business Locator is here for the brotherhood. It's here to ensure that brothers are getting exposed inside of this fraternity and as a part of the communities that we serve. We are going to continue to ramp up supporting the Sigma Business Locator, as in 2025, the Eastern Regional BBB team will be highlighting Sigma businesses. We're not going to put out a form or put out a poll. We're going to go directly to the Sigma Business Locator, and we are going to pick a business to highlight on a monthly basis on our social media pages and on the Impact 1914 resource website. So brothers, it's as simple as logging in, going to my account, going into the About Me page, and updating your business information. But while you're there, update all your info, please. Because this is the opportunity really for brothers to connect with you professionally, right? And in other ways as well. This directory is ours. And we hear and see so many chapters and people trying to, we don't need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to building a chapter directory, a membership directory, if we have accurate information in Blueprint already. The information is there because we can search by chapter. Brothers, that's the business locator. That is the presentation for today. And I wanted to open it up for Q&A. I know Brother Calvin, or our DE area BBB coordinator, raised his hand. I want to give him the mic, and then we'll open it up for some Q&A.